Hey, welcome to Outsmart Your Guitar. Glad you could join us. Today is part 2 in the Circle of Fifths. We're going to be focusing on keys and how to locate scales using the Circle of Fifths. Fun stuff. So let's just get right to it. Oh, and be sure to like and subscribe to Outsmart Your Guitar along the way. On the screen right there, you're seeing what you will typically look at if you go online and type in Circle of Fifths in your search engine. You'll come up with this great big monstrosity that shows the major keys, the minor keys, and then around the perimeter, you'll see all the notation stuff showing what the key signatures actually look like, and that's what they're called, key signatures. Now, this can be really intimidating if you don't understand all the elements, and that's what this course is all about. It's designed to help you look at this and not freak out, because you're going to understand what all of this means by the end of this course. Okay, so I just want to point this out to show you this is part of what we're talking about, the keys and the key signatures. That's what each of those symbols around the outside represent. Each of those are key signatures. You'll notice C has no key signature because there's no sharps or flats. If you go to the 1 o'clock position, you'll see G has a single sharp. That is the key signature for G. Now, I'm not going to get into it today, but you look inside the circle next to the G, it says E minor. Well, E minor also has one sharp, and that is F sharp. E minor is the relative minor key of G major. Again, we'll get into all of that later. Right now, we're just going to focus on the outside of the circle and the major keys showing the sharps and the flats. Okay? Another thing you'll notice here, when you look at the key signatures, no key signature has both sharps and flats associated with it, okay? So let me be even more specific. When we talk about sharps, what we're talking about is raising a pitch 1/2 step. Now remember, on the guitar, each fret is considered a half step. So when you take F and raise it 1/2 step, you're raising it 1 fret, and from F to F sharp, okay? Now, when you flatten a note, when you have a flat associated with the note, you're taking a note and lowering it 1/2 pitch. So for example, if you have a B, and like in the key of F showing B flat, what you're doing is taking that B and lowering it 1/2 step, 1 fret from B to B flat. And that's what sharp and flat mean. Sharp, raise the pitch a 1/2 step. Flat, lower the pitch a 1/2 step. I just want you to be very clear in understanding what we mean when we talk about sharps and flats, which are also called accidentals. On screen, you see a whole lot of material. So we're going to break this down. We're going to talk about keys and key signatures. We're going to talk about the scale as well. And we'll have another graphic in a moment showing you how you find the scale on the Circle of Fifths. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see a treble symbol and the notation basically just saying there's no sharps, no flats. So C is technically a neutral key. So you look down in the lower left-hand corner and you will see exactly that. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, the notes of the scale. There's no sharps, no flats. And starting at the 8th fret on the 6th string, we've done this before, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and we can keep going. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? And a really good exercise is to do this backwards. C, B, A, right? G, F, E, D, C. B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And so that's a good exercise right there. Helps you learn the notes up and back. And you can use the scale, moving all over the place, to teach yourself keys and all the notes of the fretboard. It's another device to use to help you learn the fretboard a little better. All right, so pause the video and spend a few minutes looking at this, getting it clear in your head, what you're seeing, and begin the memorization process. To your right, my left on screen, you'll see the circle of fifths. And at 12 o'clock is C, as is its usual and normal position. Now, to find the notes of the C major scale, what we do is we look at the key tone of the scale, which is C. In this case, it's at 12 o'clock. And we go back one clock position. Here, in this case, we go from 12 to 11 o'clock. And you'll see the F is at 11 o'clock. F is the 4 of the C major scale. C, D, E, F. 1, 2, 3, 4. We go from the F, which is at 11, and we go all the way around to the 5 o'clock position, exactly opposite of the 11 o'clock position, to the B. B is the 7 tone of the C major scale, right? So you have a C, D, E, F, G, A, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right? This is how you find a scale. The key tone is always the second note in the given arc that you're creating. So you start with the 4 tone, end with the 7 tone, and the second note of that arc, in this case, C at 12 o'clock, is the key tone. All right? And that's the key of the scale. Pretty cool stuff, huh? If you need to rewind and listen to the explanation again, go for it. Otherwise, pause, look at the diagram, and absorb the information. Okay, let's move to the 1 o'clock position of the circle of fifths. You'll see that that is G, the key of G major. Specifically, in the upper left-hand corner on the screen, you see the key signature for G, and it's showing 1 sharp. Look in the lower left-hand corner, and you see the G major scale spelled out in notation. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. So when you look back up at the key signature in the upper left-hand corner, you see that 1 sharp is F sharp. That top line of the notation is the F. And so you put a sharp symbol over that, signifying the key is G major. On the right side of your screen, you see the tablature for the scale. It's in G, of course, so you start at the 3rd fret. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And you can keep going if you want. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. And again, you can work it backwards across the fretboard, calling out the notes so that you further reinforce your knowledge of the fretboard, the bonus here, right? Pause the video, examine this. Again, if you need to rewind and review, go ahead and do that. This is the key of G major, 1 sharp, F sharp. All right, let's look at the diagram here and examine and see how you find the G major scale. Now, on the circle, we see G is in the 1 o'clock position. Where's 1 o'clock? Here we go. And so, as before, you start by going back 1 position on the clock face. And in this case, it's to 12 o'clock, from 1 o'clock to 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock is occupied by the C tone. C is the fourth of the G major scale. G, A, B, C, right? So we start with the C at 12 o'clock and we go round to 6 o'clock, F sharp. F sharp is the seventh tone of the G major scale. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? The second note in the arc is your key. So we're starting at C, but the second note is G, and that's your key tone, and so your key center. All right? Pause, study this. Make sure you understand it before moving forward. All right, let's go to the 2 o'clock position on the circle of fifths. You'll notice that is D major, and it's showing, if you look at the key signature in the upper left-hand corner for D major, there is a new sharp added. Down in the lower left-hand corner, look at the scale laid out for you. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. So we're actually adding a new sharp while retaining the sharp from the previous key, which was G. All right? In the right-hand side of the screen, you see the D major scale laid out. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And we can keep going. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And again, you can go in reverse, naming the notes, reinforcing your knowledge of the fretboard. So pause, look over all this stuff, go through it, make sure you understand what you're seeing and learning, and begin the memorization process before moving forward. You should be starting to get the hang of this, but let's keep going. Here it is, the D major scale on the circle of fifths. Now, again, D is at 2 o'clock. That's our key tone. And so we go back 1 clock position to the 4 of the D major scale, right? D, E, F sharp, G. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we start at the 1 o'clock position with G and go round to the 7 o'clock position to C sharp. C sharp is the 7th tone of the D major scale. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So, again, the second note of the arc is your key tone or your key center, the key of the scale. Here, it's D major with 2 sharps, F sharp retained from the G major scale, and now adding C sharp. Study this. Make sure it's getting in there. All right? Moving to the 3 o'clock position on the circle of fifths, you'll see the key is A major. In the upper left-hand corner on your screen, you'll see the A major key signature. You'll see an additional sharp as well. Go down to the lower left-hand corner, we have the A major scale laid out for you. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. You can see the addition is a G sharp. So you look up at the key signature. We've retained the F sharp from G major and D major, and we've retained the C sharp from D major. And now to the right of those two, we've added just above them a G sharp. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see the A major scale. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And we can keep going. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So you'll see how that G sharp actually fits in very snugly, helping make the A major scale sound correct. So pause, study this, play through it, and you can play through this and call out the notes and then do it in reverse to further reinforce your knowledge of the fretboard. And then, when you're ready to continue, press play. Okay, let's look at the A major scale. A is at the 3 o'clock position, and you know we go back one position on the clock to 2 o'clock as our starting point. D is the 4 tone of the A major scale. A, B, C sharp, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, we always start one clock position back from the key tone, the root, which is A in this case. So we go back one position on the clock to D. Then we go around the arc to 8 o'clock in this case to the G sharp. The G sharp is the 7 tone of the A major scale. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And G sharp is the new 3rd sharp that we've added to this key to make it A major, as you saw just previously, right? So pause, study this, begin to get it in your memory. The process is straightforward and not difficult at all. So what you want to do now is you want to continue, go to the 4 o'clock position, to the key of E, and suss out everything you need to know. You understand the process now, right? So take a look at it and make sure you understand how it works. If you need to do a little review, do the little review. It is worth its weight in gold to make sure you understand what you're doing moving forward so that you keep it clear in your head. This is for all major keys with sharps, at least at this moment, okay? There are other major keys as well, but we'll get into those soon enough. For now, do this and get it clear in your head, and you will be glad you did. All right, there's more to the circle of fifths, of course, right? So I'm working it out. I'm going to get it up for you. And when you get there, I'll be there too. We'll see you then.